Hi guys, it's Jamie with gettingcrafty.net. That's gettingcrafty.net. So today we're gonna have fun creating two cards, two different colors, same technique, lots of fun. It's gonna be incorporating a distinctive stamp. When I say distinctive, I mean it's a unique stamp process that Stampin' Up! Creative called distinctive. So it stamps, and it stamps in a variety of colors and shades with one stamped image. You get immense detail and beauty from it. We're using the Forever Fern stamp set today, and we're going to create two different cards, different color themes, same technique, lots of fun. Super easy. I would call this simple stamping. You just do a little rubbing and stamping and boom, you are done, which always makes me really happy. If you are like me and you like a stamp set but you want tons of ideas and you want to see how to get the most out of your stamp set, considering joining our online classes. I have two consecutive running online classes, one every Monday and one every Friday. So you can see more about those on my blog at gettingcrafty.net. That's gettingcrafty.net. The Monday class will be incorporating the Forever Fern suite. We will have 5 distinct cards to create, and it's going to be all month long. This is like the best creating ever. So if you're interested in getting this free card kit, you can see how to do so on my blog at gettingcrafty.net. That's gettingcrafty.net. You just have to click on the right hand side of the blog and you can see all of the information on the Forever Fern class. And we have a second class that will be on Fridays that we call the Artistry Sunflowers. So if you're interested, make sure you check those out on my blog. Don't miss our online retreats and classes that we run at all times waiting for you. Right now, let's go ahead and create with the Forever Fern stamp set this really fun technique. I hope that it inspires you just like it does me. So this is a really easy and fun card that we had a good time creating at a recent Facebook Live. You can see my weekly Facebook Lives at facebook.com/gettingcrafty.net. So a lot of people wonder how to take a card from what I would say simple stamping, pretty basic, up a level, and this is how you would do it. It's a very, very easy technique. It's actually one of my favorite ones to do. It's a simple matter of just adding color. And color can take a project up a notch or 3. And I am a girl who loves her color. This happens to be my favorite color blue, the Pacific Point. I want to show you how we're going to create with that. So here, I'm going to set it off to the side, hopefully. Okay, so what we're going to do is take a piece of Whisper White cardstock, item number 100730, 100730. Whisper White cardstock is a lighter weight designed for layering. We're also going to take a sticky note that I happen to have cut in half. It doesn't matter to me which sticky note you do as long as you get one that's long enough. So here, I'm just going to place it. And I do use a grid paper or a grid design whenever I craft. And the reason being is I really want to create a straight image. And when you do so, you can see that your card is lined up and your projects are lined up. I'm what you would call an A-type hippie. The fun thing with that is sometimes it matters a lot to me and sometimes it does not. So often that means that my creative space can be a little disorienting because it's a little busy or lots of stuff sitting around. But I think that's most crafters that I know. Is that you? I don't know. You'll have to let me know. Leave a comment. Why don't you share? We're going to use 3 ink pads right now. So Saffron ink pad, all in the same color family, by the way. Balmy Blue and Pear Pizzazz. These are in the Subtles ink pad family. And I took one of our circular sponges and I cut wedges out of it. So you can see here I have the blue wedge, the green wedge, and my yellow wedge. So let's go ahead. I'm setting them right next to me here while I'm getting ready to create. And we're going to do this really easy technique. So all I do is I take our circular sponge and I cut it into little wedges. The reason being is I have lost some dexterity in my hands after a attack that we suffered in our home. We had a dog we brought home from the rescue that ended up 5 days in attacking my goats and I. And so it was interesting, but I've lost the ability to hold bigger things and I have a slight tremor in my arm. So I'm going to take this So Saffron ink pad and I'm going to sponge the corner here, literally holding the outside. This gives me something smaller and easier for my hand not to get exhausted with. I pat the corner and then coming in here, I hold the sticky note down because it's only adhesive at the top. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna really sponge right next to the edge. And I'm going about 1/3 of the way in here. And I'm gonna go up to this top part of the wedge here. You wanna make sure you have a protective piece underneath of your crafting area. So this grid pad I clean quite often. And if you don't, you'll end up with like ink on the backside of your other projects. And you'll be like, where did that come from? And if you're like me, you will not remember where that came from. So I'm gonna go in and just softly sponge it in. You can make it nice and lush and dark if you want. I like just soft texture to it. And I do wanna take and give it a nice hard line next to the mask. That's gonna create a really finished look to this. So we're gonna go into, I find that yellow is the lightest of colors of the trio, and then we're gonna go into the balmy blue. I do have a tendency to close the ink pads each time because let me tell you, I can end up with my hand in it in 2.2 seconds. So here's the balmy blue, one of my favorite blues, and it's a very soft blue and you can keep building on it, which is fun. And one of the reasons I do this trio is I do that little childhood poem, yellow and blue make green. So I love that I can incorporate those little rhymes and limericks that we do to remember things. Do you remember something about spaghetti to remember our, I remember our solar system was to do with spaghetti. I couldn't, Mama, spaghetti, I don't know, it's probably Saturn, Pluto, I don't know. I never could remember that one. It was a little more convoluted than the yellow and blue make green. Though when I took art classes, I always argued with the art teacher that white was the essence of all color and black was the essence of no color. And I was like, that is so wrong. I was an inquisitive, fun child. Make sure you do a hard line right on that mask. You want to continue that vibe all the way through, right? You want to give it a nice frame. And it seems insignificant until you don't do that and you realize, oh yeah, it really does do something when you do that. Then we're gonna go into the Pear Pizzazz. Now the Pear Pizzazz is a nicer, darker green from the Subtles family. Here. And I'm gonna go in and really sponge nice and firmly. Now the next card, we're gonna do 2 cards on this one, 2 different colors. I just thought we'll go quicker, and it's just a different way of masking that's fun as well. And we take that one up a notch. And so I'm gonna blend the 2 colors in. You can see I can take the green into the blue and pull it back and forth. I don't want it to be super solid. You can totally make it super solid if you wanted to. I don't feel like I need to. And then this is where the magic comes in. Are you ready for the magic? It's always so pretty when it happens. Look at that. Oh, it's like super sexy. When crafting can be super fabulous like this, I always get real excited. And there you go. I think it's near perfect. Like, it's so gorgeous, and it's got the nice ombre variegated color happening right here. And it's got a striking line across it. The nice thing is the grid paper really aids me in this process. Now, using this gorgeous Forever Fern stamp set, right here, we're going to use one of the smaller leaves and this bigger leaf right here. And we're gonna use the saying, you can do this. So I am going to grab this big, beautiful leaf right here and a smaller leaf here. And I have them in contrasting fashion. Let me just do that here so you can see it a little bit better. It's almost like it's framing itself out, which will give me, oh, and you know what? I didn't do any other one, but it would be really fun is doing some of these little speckles. So when you get Stampin' Up! Stamps, we have this great sheet right here. And this is a cling stamp. So then you just remove the backing of the cling, and you remove the backing of the stamp, and then you're gonna take it and you're gonna place it down. I mean, it's like the best thing ever. Now, because I drop things, remember, I have a tendency to hold things with my finger this way because often holding things like that won't work for me. And it stays really clingy for as long as I've had them now, which is a lot of fun. And so we're gonna incorporate this little polka dot. We're gonna incorporate this little branch right here and this little itty bitty one right here. Now we get to create all month long with this gorgeous collection, and we have fun doing so. So if you're ever interested in joining one of our online classes, it's an option waiting for you. Now this is the Pacific Point ink pad. I'm going to move my stamps to the side here. And I like to do a catty corner stamp that will actually create also a appealing effect to your eye. Your eye follows interesting points like that. Now we're going to do the You Can Do This, and I want to do it directly above the line right there. And I'm stamping it over the yellow so that it really picks up that contrast. The Pacific Point is absolutely gorgeous with this. Then we're going to grab that those little speckles. I feel like almost, it might be a bit much, but that's okay. And I'm not stamping it again. I'm just going to stamp off. Stamping here. It's just going to be a little subtle background to your stamped image. It's kind of a little interest. Then I like to use the bigger stamp here, and we're going to stamp. And without re-inking it, I'm going to kind of show some interest in a variety there. So it's not super stagnant. You want to make sure it feels like it's flowing. Here it goes into that. Look at how it transforms into something just super lush and elegant. I'm trying to decide what to do here. There. That's what the distinctive stamp does. So when you look at the distinctive stamp, you can see all of the coloring and shading and design, as well as texture, is already applied to the stamp for you. So when you look at it like so, but then when you stamp, it really does all of the work for you. Isn't that just magnificent? Oh, I love it. And I like the contrast of that blue. It makes me really happy. So I'm going to come in here with the other, just to create some interest with an alternating pattern. And I often turn my projects so I don't turn my hand. Remember, you can bring the paper to you. And I think sometimes people forget that. There. Easy peasy. I really like what the speckles have added to it. Kind of fun and whimsical. And then we're going to place it over the Thick Whisper White cardstock. Thick Whisper White cardstock is item number 140272. 140272. And I've already scored it here at, where did I put it? Right here next to me. I scored it at 4 1/4 and cut it at 5 1/2, creating your typical A4 card. Using a bone folder to impress the edge. Boom shakalaka. We're going to grab some dimensional adhesive to create a dimension. I love the white on this. If you want to do something different, I'm going to show you here what we can do different from the other, which will create a little bit more depth and layering. Like so. I'm just stamping on the Thick Whisper White cardstock. There you go. So when we look at this original sample, I just have it white on white, nothing on the base. I want you to see what the difference of this does. Now I'm going to use the dimensional adhesive on the back of this top layer. And I always do all 4 corners with a couple in the middle, depending on the way it lays. I want to support the middle. I want to be a good undergarment there. Funny story is I met my husband while we worked at a lingerie design and manufacturing company. So when I talk undergarments, I know them. There you go. So we're going to place this right over the cardstock. And there you go. You have a nice little subtle polka dots layering behind, causing more flow. Easy to do, and you can see the difference when you look at it like this. Both of these cards are super easy to create. Now you're going to see how we're going to do the other one, and the colors we're going to incorporate on that. We're going to use one less color, and we're going to use the Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, and Gorgeous Grape. Those 3 are going to come together right now to create a slightly different look, and it'll go really fast since you already know the technique now. I just thought it'd be fun to show you 2 for 1. Who doesn't love a good twofer, right? A little BOGO for you. Okay, so let's set this aside using the same stamp set, same everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Simply Chamois. Simply Chamois is a great tool to have on your table. We clean ours daily. And I say we, my girls, my daughters. I homeschool my 4 youngest children. And my older 2 stepdaughters are grown. I have a grandson now. I'm a super blessed mommy. I actually just picked up a new coffee cup that says blessed on it. And I just thought it was such a cute coffee cup. First of all, it's like my favorite. It's blue. I love blue. But it's a great reminder in this time and era where things seem out of control and crazy, like maybe just motherhood. Hello, it didn't even matter what the world's got going on. Motherhood always feels a little out of control for me. And so this is a great way to remember what we have. But my daughters help manage my crafting area for me, and they're super creative. I don't know where they get that from. And the Simply Chamois is just a microfiber that we've cleaned with water, and it will keep absorbing ink. It starts off this really pale purple, almost the color of like the Highland Heather, and you can see where we use it quite often, and we wash it periodically. I store it in a standard stamp case, and for me, I put some kind of an interesting piece of designer series paper or vellum on the inside. This is a retired designer vellum that Stampin' Up! Carried, just so that you can see mine at events when others are with me, because things disappear. Now we're going to take that same Whisper white cardstock. We're going to take the sticky notes, but I wanted to create an interesting, whatchamacallit, look here using like a to the side kind of gig. What is that? An interesting horizontal feature maybe? I want a little bit more pink than that. I have to laugh. I don't like pink. So if you know me, you're laughing. One of my girlfriends, she loves pink. Several of my girlfriends actually do. And they laugh because they know one color they do not buy me is pink. So we're going to do the same technique with Petal Pink and Calypso Coral and the sponges that coordinate here. So let me go ahead and do that with you now. Okay, so easy to do, and what a difference in the way it looks. You do need a strong contrast. That's why when I did the subtles for the coloring, like I did here with the Petal Pink and the Calypso Coral, I anchored it with the Gorgeous Grape stamped leaves and greeting. And you can notice I did decorate the inside of this card. If you know me, I love to decorate the inside of my cards and my envelopes. Such an easy way to take your project up a notch, and boy, does it make somebody feel special. Now, this card here was pretty clean and easy. Both of them are tons of fun, but this one would be fun to show you. Either one actually would be great to show you how you can take it up a notch with our rhinestone collections. So this is the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and if I were to use that on this project, that's what I would pick. But I thought it would be fun with this one right here to incorporate the champagne tools, because champagne is pretty. I like things that are pretty. I'm kind of easy like that. And I'm going to use one of my favorite tools, the Take Your Pick tool. And so you can see here, Stampin' Up! It has a great Take Your Pick tool. It does not come in this holder. I had it done for me, designed for my team and I actually. And so then here you go. You have a great little, it's got a tip with putty on it. It has a lid that I took off. It holds all my pieces, and this is an extra putty whenever you need it. I'm going to grab some of these rhinestones here and just kind of incorporate them into this. This is elevating it a notch. It's a great way to show some interest with this. Say there's somebody who is going through something. I don't even know, right? Like they've got a project ahead of them. You're just thinking of them because maybe life is not easy for them right now. And a great way to connect with somebody in that path of life is to do a beautiful handmade card. But if you're like me, sometimes you don't have a ton of time. So in order to get around that, you just do something like this, super easy and quick. and it's sure to surprise and delight. The champagne rhinestones are so gorgeous. They've got a subtle goldish pink to it. It's item number 151193. 151193. And the rhinestones for the holiday are 150457. And it has a great variety of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors that are pretty much staples in all of your crafting. So here with the little rhinestones, you've taken your project up a notch. You can see that there. Boom shakalaka. And then here with just a little bit of coloring, you have 2 options, and I don't know which is your favorite. Well, go ahead and leave me a comment. Which is your favorite? Do you like the blue one or the purple one? We're gonna call it by the solid colors, Pacific Point or Gorgeous Grape. Which one speaks to you? You can see the full tutorial on my blog at gettingcrafty.net. That's gettingcrafty.net. Thanks for joining me. If you're interested in taking our online classes, we have people who do so across the United States. Monday will be the Forever Fern. And on Fridays, we will be using our sunflowers in a gorgeous artisan sunflower stamp set. It's a Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set right here. See more on my blog at gettingcrafty.net. That's gettingcrafty.net. You can create with us twice a week with a free kit delivered right to your house. Don't miss out. Thanks for joining me. Please like, share, and pin this video. Tag your friends. And sharing is caring, so I appreciate your caring. Have a good one. Thank you. Bye. Okay guys, can I just say how excited I am? I love creating with you guys and doing so at our live classes. So our online virtual classes this month will include the Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set, item number 152517, 152517, and the stunning, can we just say hello, happy day, Artistry Blossoms Designer Series paper. That's item number 152495. 152495. And I love to create in color. It's kind of an understatement, really. So the suggested kit for this will also include the Daffodil Delight Ruched Ribbon, item number 151311, as well as the gold glitter enamel dots. Item number 152155. 152155. I have some suggested add-ons, and we're going to incorporate those in today's class. So something I would suggest people adding on would be the Night of Navy stamp set, ink pad, and the Gorgeous Grape ink pad, the gorgeous Holiday Rhinestone collection. And I always say, if you're going to grab a stamp set, make sure you take it up a notch or 3 when you grab the coordinating dies. When you have a beautiful collection of dies that will work wonders, this is the way to go. So we're going to incorporate this into today's class. Now, if you want to get the best deal of all, go for the Flowers for Every Season Sweet Collection and more. You can see it right on my blog at gettingcrafty.net. That's gettingcrafty.net. If you'd like to receive this free class, make sure you let me know right away. There's limited quantities, like only 35.